Hello, yes, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV. Today, we're going to be looking at helming on the trapeze. Woohoo! I know I've done a video already about helming on the trapeze, but it is one of the most hot topics for us here at Wildwind. So I thought I would go out and go through it again just to see if that's going to help you in getting out onto the trapeze as the helm. Before we put the boat in the water, one thing that we can do, which is going to make it easier, is just to set our trapeze length. And if we set this a little bit shorter, so normally the optimal trapeze length I would go for is so that the bottom of your J and H is kind of like a hand's width from the sidebar. But here we've got it a little bit shorter, and that's just going to give you a bit more confidence when you're moving out onto the trapeze. Okay, with that done, it's time to head out and have a look, see how it goes. Okay, yes, so I'm going fairly tooled up today. I've got the Locosys GW60. I've got the Zero Shoes Colorados on my feet. An excellent choice for 16 sailing, and it's my first time out with the Malcheski Composites Pro Joyrider tiller extension, which is very exciting. This is a beautiful tiller extension, I could tell you. Okay, so before we go out on the trapeze, what we want to do is get the boat just sailing quite nice and stable. So I've got the boat on a fairly upwind course, so we can, to a certain degree, control our power just by heading up and down a little bit, so we're not having to use too much main sheet. I have got the main sheet out of the cleat at the moment, just so if we do get that big gust, I can release it. And I can just feel that the windward hull has just got a little bit of lift to it. And when that windward hull has got a little bit of lift to it, that's when we know that we've got enough power to get out onto the trapeze. So a good idea, if you're new to it, is before you move out, just put one or both feet under the tow strap. That's just going to give you a little bit more security when you're moving out. Okay, and as you can see, we're really not going very fast at all, but we've certainly got enough pressure to be able to get out onto the trapeze. Okay, so from this position, I'm obviously hooked on, I'm focusing on steering the boat. I'm just holding the main sheet out of the cleat. It's not block to block, nothing too extreme, but I can feel that pressure. Okay, so from there, I'm just going to lower my buttocks over the edge, and now we can steer in this position. If we wanted to, we could stay in this position all day long. It's very stable. With the feet under the tow strap as well, there's really not much to worry about in this position. And then when I'm feeling ready, I'm going to push out with my back foot. So I'm going to take my back foot from under the tow strap, get it on the side of the boat. Again, I'm still focusing on steering the boat and controlling the boat. And from that position, I'm then going to push. And there we are. Hello, Joyriders. All right, and then once we're on the side, at the moment, I'm feeling quite a lot of pull to the back. So to resist that pull, I'm just going to bend my front leg slightly, keep my back leg bent, straight, sorry, and that's going to stop me from going backwards. And then it's quite comfortable just to steer in that position. I'd have to say at this stage in the game, the Pro Joyrider, or was it the Joyrider Pro tiller extension is very nice indeed. Looking forward to giving it some beans with this later on. Feels great in the hands. Okay, so to go back in, what I'm going to do with the main sheet uncleated, gosh, she's a bit lively, I'm going to put the main sheet into my stick hand, which is going to leave my front hand free for the handle. Okay, it's pretty gusty now. Wasn't so windy when I came out. This is the sort of thing that could happen. All right, grabbing the handle and then just pulling myself into the boat. And then as I came in there, I headed up a little bit just to reduce the power a bit more. But there we go. So the key point of moving in and out on the trapeze is that you're focusing on controlling the boat at all times. There we go. So I'm going to go out again. I've hooked on, feet under the toe strap. Going to let a bit more jib off actually, because it is quite windy now. Back foot goes out first. Whoa! Focusing on controlling the boat, and there we are. Okay, big gust coming up. Here it is. Boom. Not such a big gust. Okay, so when the wind goes a little bit like that, I need to get back into the boat. So once again, transferring the main sheet into my stick hand. It's definitely windier than I'd anticipated. Okay, and pulling myself back into the boat. Okay, so we're going to rev up to get out on this tack. So once again, putting the feet under the toe strap, hooking on, and then just getting into that hanging position. And now the more wind there is, especially if you're single-handed, you're going to feel more pull towards the back of the boat. So you're really going to have your feet wider apart and your front leg quite bent. Okay, so I've got a good amount of power here. Bit of a gust coming. I might just ride this one out before going out. Okay, back foot onto the side, pushing out. And then once I'm out, I can then sheet in a bit more, as we'll have more weight to be able to manage more power. Okay, if this shroud goes loose, that is a sign that you've got too much weight out for the amount of power that you've got on. So if that happens, you should either sheet in a bit, or if you haven't got any to sheet in, you could actually come in off the trapeze. Certainly is a bit windier than I'd anticipated for this sort of sailing. All right, so we're going to come back in. Just waiting for this gust to pass. Once again, transferring the main sheet into the stick hand with it uncleated, so I can just release that if it's necessary. And then bending the knees, coming right in close to the boat, lifting a foot, pulling in, and there we are. Again, trying to focus on steering the boat and controlling the boat all the way through that process.